This is Hiretech's HT7-2. It's a disc floor sander. It's about 36 pounds, and it's really used for trimming out the edges after you're done with a belt sander, or doing floors if you're doing a sanding of floor treads. It's like I said, about 36 pounds, and it produces about 3,000 RPMs on this disc on the bottom. I definitely recommend, make sure that you use, the directions of course will say to use a breathing mask and ear protection. I'm a big believer in it. My father used to not do it, and I think that's half the reason he's half deaf. The machine is pretty nicely balanced in that this is in sand mode, and it tilts to about here, and it has a real kind of a static feel, and that's with the disc unengaged. And so what you'll see a little later is me engage or start it here and then engage it to here. This is how you'll get the machine. It has its power switch here. There's been some complaints about the fact that they made this a Deadman Switch, and what that means is that you have to keep your finger on it to keep running it. Personally, they say take a knee or one knee when you're using the machine. I like a nice wide stance over it, and then it's easy to push that Deadman switch. I guess it's one of those things that if you do fall over or for whatever reason this machine gets away from you, it's really nothing but trouble. So it's a minor inconvenience for a safety benefit that I think is worth doing. The machine itself, changing the disc pads on it's pretty simple. They put the changing piece right here, and so when you replace a pad, simply undo the bolt in the center of the old one. It'll always have one on because you never want to transport this machine without a pad on it. The rubber surface on it that this is used to stick on it is really important to keep debris free. You punch out the center piece of the old one, and the only important step when you do this is to make sure you line up the circle in the circle, meaning that you have the pad running on the outside of the rubber pad. Then simply screw it in place. Use your tool. Keep an eye on it when you tighten it to make sure it doesn't walk out of its pattern. And you tighten it down. I like to go till I feel it start to slip, and then just give it a little bit of an eighth of a turn more. This isn't something where you need to muscle it down. It's already the resin, the sand impregnated resin on this naturally grips on the metal, and so it holds just fine. You don't need to go crazy on it. Your piece just slips back in here. There's two little clips, and you're set to go. Putting a bag on the system is pretty simple as well. We use bags because I believe paper bags do a better job than cloth for getting rid of the dust in the air. Everyone's different on that one. This just pops off, and now you have a clasp or a place to set your bag on. The paper sack you unfold, pop out, and then just gently wiggle it back and forth, and it will reach a static seal. You'll see a little rubber lining seal on the inside of this. There's a line on this that it just simply slides over and holds, and then you just put your bag in here. There's a max fill line on it on this side. You don't want to overfill it or it starts interfering with the ability of the machine to suck up debris. Never a good thing when you're using this. Make sure you read the directions. They'll tell you when you leave these things unattended, get rid of your bag. Depending on what you suck up and whether you hit a nail or not when you shouldn't have, you get a little tiny spark in this thing. It could smolder and a couple hours later catch fire. It's 1 out of 10,000 chance, but when you're that 1/10 out of 10,000, it sucks. So when you're using the machine, make sure you have your cord. I like to put it over my shoulder so that there's no way I can hit it with a sander. It sands rubber as well as it does wood. And you're about ready to set up just like this. Let's get it turned on and I'll show you how it works.